Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to our Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race today at North Wilkesboro. This is race 15 of the 2026 season. I am only 7-7 in my picks, which is kind of shocking, but we've had enough of the Cup guys going to the Truck Series and winning, and Corey Heim winning a lot. So it's not completely unexpected, but it's kind of shocking. All right, the FaithFest 250 there at North Wilkesboro, 250 laps, 156.25 miles. Those three stages, 70, 70, and 110. Fuel windows, 125 to 140 when they have four sets of tires. Now, that fuel window, 125 to 140. So you can definitely go each stage. You could almost go first and second stage. Depends on the stage caution laps. So that could be interesting if somebody tries that and stays out, try to get track position. The last three races, which is the three races returning to North Wilkesboro since they brought it back from the dead, qualifiers, the winners have qualified 8th, 12th, and 14th, which is kind of weird, but okay, cool. If you look at the qualifying from this week and you look at that little thing, 8th, 12th, and 14th, that means Grant Enfinger, Nick Lights, and Tanner Gray are sitting in the hot seats. Interesting. All right, so we have some changes this week in the Truck Series, as we do from week to week. We have Nick Lights in the truck number 1 there for Track Conquer Odds. We have Luke Baldwin in the number 2 for Team Rion. We have Donovan Stress in the number 4 for Nice Motorsports. Corey Heim is back behind the Track on Garage truck number 5 this week. We have Chase Elliott in the number 7 HendrickCars.com Spire Motorsports truck. From my understanding, this was supposed to have been one of the Kyle Busch's races, so they picked Chase Elliott to run that one, his first start in the Truck Series since 2024, I believe it was, 25. We have the usual suspects, Katie Honeycutt in the 11. In the All-Star truck for Colic Racing, we have the return of the Rocket, Ryan Newman. Let's see. Casey Klein is in the number 27 for Rackley War. Taylor Reef, became a fan of his after the Coronado Street Race. He's in the 42 for Nice Motorsports. Landon Lewis is in the 45 for Nice. Christopher Bell is in the in the 62 for Hallmark Friesen. Shane Van Gisbergen returns to the Truck Series in the number 71 for Spire Motorsports. And then Carson Hosefar in the number 77 for Spire Motorsports. Ironically, the teammates for Spire this week in the Truck Series, Chase Elliott, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Carson Hosefar. You couldn't find 3 different personalities in this sport if you tried. I like it. I hope they run well together. We've already seen one little dust up in practice between Carson Hosefar and Tanner Gray. I know Carson made a couple comments on the radio about, his dad can just buy him another truck. It's actually his granddaddy, but I like Carson's spark with that. I know a lot of people have taken offense to what Dale Jr. had said when he compared Carson Hosefar to a young Dale Earnhardt. But on a podcast recently, Richard Petty said the exact same thing. And I love how Dale Emmons said that, Carson's not making any friends out there. And he goes, Dale didn't have any friends out there. Or Earnhardt didn't have any friends out there. I'm like, yeah. So, they're early, not the 7-time champion Dale Earnhardt, not the DEI-owned race team of Dale Earnhardt, the businessman Dale Earnhardt. We're talking about the 1976 through 1986, the Wrangler orange and blue number 3, that Dale Earnhardt, the young, rough the feathers of the establishment, came in there, won a championship, made Richard Petty mad, made David Pearson mad, made Bobby Allison mad, made Darrell Waltrip mad, and that feud he had with Darrell Waltrip, that Dale Earnhardt. All right, on to the Truck Series here at North Wilkesboro. There's been 3 races since the return of North Wilkesboro. Chandler Smith, he was in one of them, he won. Lane Riggs has an average finish of 2.5. He is on the pole this week. Brendan Queen raced in one of them and finished 4th. Daniel Hemrick has a 4.0 average finish. Carson Hosefar, 4.0 average finish. He raced in one of them and finished 4th. Grant Enfinger, Last week's winner, 5.66 average finish. Ty Majeski, 6.33. Gio Ruggiero, 7.0. Corey Heim, 8.0 and a win. And Stuart Friesen, 12.33. In those three races, average running position, Corey Heim, 2.76. Carson Hesselberg, 3.23. Chandler Smith, 7.23. Gio Ruggiero, 7.29. Lane Riggs, 7.72. Grant Enfinger, 7.87. Christopher Bell, 8.02. Jake Garcia, 9.36. Tyler Ankrum, 9.99. And Christian Eggers, 10.82. Now, there's not a lot of tracks that are comparable to North Wilkesboro. I know that for the Cup Series, I'm going to use Martinsville because it's going to be the same tire and a similar package in the same package. But other than that, there's not a lot of tracks that'll. I mean, Rockingham maybe to a point, but I know typically it's just going to be kind of that track because every track's a little different. Except we get the intermediates and we have a bunch of those. All right, so 14 races of 25 are in the books for the Truck Series in 2026. 4 races left until we start the chase. Lane Riggs, 4 wins, leading the points by 44 over Caden Honeycutt, who's got a win. Chandler Smith is in third with a win, minus 155, I believe it was. Now, when it comes to the cut line, Lane Riggs is plus 294. Caden Honeycutt plus 250. Chandler Smith plus 140. Chris Neckis is sitting in fourth, plus 139. Gio Ruggiero in fifth, minus 130. Ty Majeski in sixth, plus 62. Two-time champion Ben Rhodes is in seventh, plus 54. He's had a very quiet year so far. Daniel Hermick, plus 53. Grant Enfinger with that big win last week, plus 42. Tyler Ankrum, plus 17. Now you have Stuart Friesen, minus 17. Jake Garcia, minus 17. Brendan Queen, minus 21, the top-ranked Ram truck. Andres Perez, minus 31. Justin Haley, minus 34. And then Tanner Gray, minus 41. I've seen a lot of information, a lot of stuff online about Tanner Gray. And basically Carson's comment, and I love people, I don't like who said it, but we got to talk about it. You know, it's like, okay, this is coming up because of what Carson said. Number one, everyone that's going to be complaining about Taylor Gray and his stats, y'all owe Haley Deegan an apology. Everyone that's complaining about Tanner Gray compared to Corey Heim, y'all owe Tony Breitinger and Haley Deegan an apology. Because y'all ran Haley Deegan out of the sport in less than 3 years. You ran Tony Breitinger out of the sport in 1 year because they were not racing to the level of their championship teammates. Only Kate Honeycutt, the only 11 truck in Tricon Garage has actually ever done anything in this, full-time driver has done anything. But we compare everyone to that person. And if you're racing for the same team and you're not to the level of that person, you don't deserve to be in the sport. That's what people have come to. Go back and look at all the 4-car teams in the sport's history. There was never a time where all 4 cars were 100% equal. Even the days of Jack Roush when he had 5 cars, yes, he put 5 cars in the top 10 in the chase that year. That might be the only exception. I don't remember a time that all 400 cars all ran well together, all 4 Gibbs cars all ran equally in one equal number of races. I could be wrong. I haven't researched every single year, but just off of memory, I don't recall. There's always been that outlier, number 1. There's always been that outlier, number 4, and the other 2 kind of in the middle. But, anyhoodles, we're moving on. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, FaithFest 250 from North Wilkesboro, the 4 picks. If Corey Heim is in the field, you got to pick him. We get Corey Heim, Carson Osavar with nothing on the line. Boys, that could be fun. Couple of truckers who are both Cup guys who already had dust up this year, had a dust up at the Truck Series 3 years ago. Oh, yeah. And Carson, he just doesn't care. I love it. So that could be fun. Carson Osavar is also one of my picks. So can we get Ricky Rudd, Dale Earnhardt, last lap? Was it 88, I think it was, at North Wilkesboro? Can we get that to happen? That'd be fun. And then have, I don't know, somebody sneak around and get a victory, like a Brendan Queen or somebody. Lane Riggs on the pole, got to pick him, and Christopher Bell. Obviously, he's running well. And obviously, a top tier driver. He's qualified, where did Christopher? Third. So, qualifying Lane Riggs, Carson Spar, Christopher Bell, Corey Heim, Jerry Ruggiero, Chase Elliott, Caden Honeycutt, Grant Infinger, Taylor Smith, and Stuart Friesen's the top 10. So, those 4 picks, once again, Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, Carson Safar, Christopher Bell. We could have fireworks between Hosafar and Heim. They are starting possibly nose to tail on lap 1 on the outside with Carson in second and Heim fourth. Lap 1, baby. Let's go. This could be fun. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports time content.